Okay, this is a garden video for 2015. Just a little video to document how much we've gotten done this year. As you can see, this is the backyard. We haven't done anything back there yet, so there's lots of room for more fun next year. This would be the first of six raised beds, wooden raised beds we put in this year. This is where the raspberries are. They grew really well, so hopefully next year there'll be raspberries on all of these. I missed this last night. Apparently they're flowering. Not quite sure why this late, but so that's the first patch of raspberries. We'll probably put more in down the road. And we'll go over here. This is the cucumber bed. They're starting to, oh, a shadow there. They're starting to die back. They're pretty much done for the year. There's a few cucumbers in there to pull out. This was sweet potatoes. I should have made this video earlier while we still had everything. I pulled the last of these out of here last night to make some black bean and sweet potato burritos. They were okay. The sweet potatoes did okay this year. Not the best. My first year growing them, so next year will be better. This is the second asparagus patch. I planted the first asparagus patch, and then we had a ton of crowns left over, so I didn't want to waste them, so can't have too much asparagus. This was the potatoes. This is another 20-inch bed. Potatoes, we had a pretty decent harvest. And then we have the peas here. I pulled those down quite a while ago. I got to clean that mess up today. And we have the first asparagus bed. I had put the biggest crowns in here, so it's a lot better looking than the other one is. That should have lots of asparagus for us to harvest next year. This is the rhubarb bed, which all of it seems to have died in the last week or so. I hope that means that I hope that's normal and that it's going to come back. Not quite sure if something killed them or if they're going to come back. I guess we'll see. A couple more sweet potatoes in there. Can't get away from my shadow. I'll have to pull those out today. I doubt there's much on them. Now that's the wooden beds we put in this year. And then we have the cement beds we put in the year before that. This is where all the carrots are. Some of them are enormous. Look at the size of that. We had a really good year for carrots. And we've been harvesting them like crazy, and there's still a whack of them. These are parsnips. Letting those stay for a while until we get a couple frosts. That'll be sweeter. We have a few beets left in here. Just letting them size up a little before I pull them out. There's some onions drying. And there's shallots in there too. These are one of our big surprises. Cosmos, I guess they are. Seashell cosmos. They're very pretty. They were in an annual perennial mix that I pulled a few seeds out of. This was too. I don't know what this is. But, these little ones here came out of a different plant, so yeah, it's kind of fun. It was kind of a surprise to see what popped up. So Kind of neat. And down here behind the Cosmos we have some leeks. Those are, some of them are a little small, but some of them are a nice size, so a couple soups out of those. And we have these, last year I planted mint in three of these raised bed holes here. They're in the cinder blocks, and I can't even get the one plant in frame here. It's, yeah, grew pretty well. I don't need 3 mint plants. I don't know what I was thinking, but this was the garlic bed. We harvested that a few weeks ago. I have to get that ready for spring. Some nice flowers. I planted marigolds and a ton of marigolds and a ton of calendula in the holes this year, and some onions. But I did that to get the bees in here, and boys, it worked. There's a lot of bees. Probably see one buzzing around even in the video. Some more flowers. These are the haskap bushes. This bed is a permaculture bed. The haskap bushes. They're doing pretty well. The leaves are turning black on this one. I'm not quite sure what that is, but hopefully it's not a fungal disease or anything that's going to kill it. Then we have these nice blueberry bushes here. There's 2 of them. I'm going to get on the other side, I think. Yeah, so right here, there's 2 nice blueberry, some nice new growth. They're doing really well. Quite happy with those. Had a lot of blueberries this year. And these are the Kent strawberries I put in this year. Only about 10 or 12 of them survived, but I let the runners go, and the bed filled in really nicely. Then we have the alpine strawberries here. These little bushes. Can't see too many on them still, but there's one there. They'll be able to harvest those right up until the frost. And they're one of the first things to pop up in the spring. And this bed was the onions. Still have some planted in around the edges for green onions. Got some chives at the corners here. Some up there. Those will stay there. They'll come back next year. And that's it for the cement beds. So then we have the in-ground beds, which keep forgetting. The in-ground beds, we mulched the paths this year. And I mean, there's still some weeds, but they're really easy to pull up, and that's a lot better. And we got some zucchini in there. Nice yellow zucchini. And some nasturtiums. More nasturtiums. These ones are so pretty. And we have I think this is a Charente melon. You can see one little guy there. No, it hasn't grown much. I have to pull it soon though. This is the fennel. It didn't really bulb on the bottom. I'm gonna have to read more about fennel, because I don't really see the big bulbs that the pictures show. And over here is parsley. Sorry, not parsley. Celery. Behind the fennel. I also didn't know that fennel grew to be like 6 feet tall. Here we have some lettuces gone to seed. That's a oak leaf lettuce. And there's the red oak leaf over here. And this is black seeded Simpson. And then we have some romaines gone to seed over here, so I'm hoping these will flower and so forth before the frost so that I can harvest the seed. This little herb patch here. Ooh, I got grasshoppers on that. I gotta harvest a few of these today. This is some sage on the strip there. And then we have some French and English thyme. And then some tarragon. And then this little bay plant here, which looks fantastic. I just put that in this year. That'll come back. And a couple rosemaries. Hoping they come back. And there's another little sage there on the left, and then some oregano. This is marjoram right here. And another kind of oregano. These oreganos here are second year, so they come back and they're a lot bigger. And this is curly parsley. And then we have the flat leaf parsley. So. And there's some dill and coriander. There's some coriander seeds I could harvest right now. And there's some I can harvest once they dry. So, broccoli. Still have a few little heads that we could steal. Once you cut the main head of broccoli off, you don't pull the plant because these little, so you can see where the main head was. Then these little side shoots all pop up. Yeah, 4 or 5 of those and you've got a stir fry. So, green onions, kale, which I harvested a bunch of this week and gave to a friend, and you'd never know it. Bounce this back. This is the corn. Corn blew over in a really bad storm we had. And there's some little tiny ears on it, but didn't have a great season for corn this year. And we have some Kentucky Wonder beans. Starting to die back, but they're hanging on there. And the green and yellow beans are definitely starting to die back here too. Fava beans, I'm going to pull those out. A lot of them got a fungus and kind of died, so there's a few I can salvage, so I'll pull those out today. Yeah, a big shadow again. I'll pull those out today and them anyway. We have some radishes down there. Probably start using some orange Fantasia Swiss chard and then some ruby Swiss chard over there. And we have a few cabbages here we haven't harvested. Well, and I guess we did have a frost last night because the squash is dying back. To pull those fruit off of there. I don't think they were going to get much better, but if you can see them, there's like 5 acorn squash. Yeah. Season's pretty much over. I'm trying hard not to get stung here. Some pepper plants. Look like the frost bothered them too much, but I harvested all the peppers, most of them, about a week ago. And there's some cauliflower and broccoli. I harvested all the cauliflower except for one that got kind of bug-eaten afterward. And we have the onions that we harvested seed from this year. Pull those out today probably. And then we have Brussels sprouts starting in here. Brussels sprouts are slow. Really slow. Hopefully we'll get some before the really cold weather gets here. And then we have some small rutabagas, or what most of us were lied to all our lives and we're told were turnips. They're not, they're rutabagas. More pepper plants. Oh, we have the basil here. Erin was worried about the basil. She put a sheet on it to keep it from the frost last night. And it looks lovely, so there's some tomatoes I gotta pull out today. Harvested those a long time ago. Borage. And then there's some here that's fallen over. This one's fallen over too. And we have these sweet Thai peppers. Most of them have been harvested. So see quite a few on that plant. And more peppers, pepperoncinis. Tomatoes, more borage. Just a little butternut squash in here somewhere. Oh, wait, I gotta get on the other side here. Move that pot. Okay, we got tomatillos here. See those in there? There. I've never had a tomatillo. They're kind of like a little green tomato. They're a little sour. They make a great salsa. These are ground cherries. These are fantastic little things. Very tasty. Tastes kind of like little pineapples. Yeah, there's the squash. Jeez, that's grown quite a bit. Not bad. And then, oh, looks like my pumpkin didn't get frostbit. This is a sugar pumpkin. Getting there, the color's starting to change. I'd like to be able to harvest it and get a pumpkin pie or two out of it. And there's more zucchini here. Harvested them all a couple weekends ago, but some cherry tomatoes. See a few ripe ones down here. Grab them. We harvested all the tomatoes. So that's pretty much it. That's the garden for 2015. It's a pretty great year. Next year we're going to put paths and landscaping cloth down and mulch all the way around the borders so the grass doesn't grow right up to it like this. So you get this mess. And I'm going to put in more wooden raised beds over there. And I'm going to put some grapes over here against the edge of the property there. So yeah, lots of big plans, some fruit trees in the back and nuts and so forth. And lots more fun to be had. Thanks for watching.